the Roland clap is a smart one. If you look at the waveform, you notice that the Roland clap has an attack, an initial sound which has a decay, and then comes another sound with a decay, another sound with a decay, another one, and a fifth one with a longer decay. And what this implies is the Roland clap is not one single clap, it's basically 5 people clapping. And the operator has 4 oscillators, and the envelopes have a nice feature which allows us to recreate the Roland clap simply within one operator if we omit one of the people clapping. So our Roland clap has only 4 people clapping. So we use this algorithm here, which is basically all 4 oscillators going out at the same time. And we use white noise, just as a simple starting point. And we copy this and we take a decaying envelope. So we have now, yeah, that's our clap, which is for now unfiltered version of the hi-hat. And I copy this to all the other oscillators, copy oscillator to all others. So now we have 4 of those exactly at the same time. But what we want to do is we want to align them in time. So we use the trigger mode. Actually, we should use trigger mode for all of them. So I copy them again. So now trigger mode is on all of them. And on the second one, I use the attack time as a basically pre-delay and use the release as, well, release. So in the trigger mode, what happens now is during the attack phase, nothing happens, and then I got a spike and a decay. And that's exactly what I need for my clap. Oops, where is it? So now you notice they're 136 milliseconds apart. First sound, silence, second sound. And I bring them closer together. Oops. Now they're 40 seconds apart, which is approximately what the Roland 808 does. Then make the first one a bit shorter. And we almost have our first clap. And I take the other oscillator, do the same game, spread it something like 80 milliseconds apart. Oops. And we're starting to get there. And I use the fourth one. Same game. And again, 30 milliseconds apart. So this is something like 120 milliseconds. So that's our first clap here. And now we can start, of course, doing detail stuff. But what I like to do is I like to filter it differently. So again, we use the EQ8 to get this a little bit more according to taste. We cut off, oops, we cut off the low frequencies. And we have something which is more. So now comes the fun part. The last clap at the Roland 808 decays longer than the rest. And this is a very, very smart move. Let's try this. Because actually, it does something which is similar to reverb. We have a clap which has some built-in reverb, which actually is really close to reverb because we have noise, and the noise is bouncing back from the walls. And what comes back is noise with a volume decay. It's filtered a little bit differently in nature, but for a first approximation, it's totally acceptable. So we have a snare with a clap with some noise, which is room. So I turn it off, no reverb. I turn it on, reverb. Pretty cool, simple trick.